This video isn't just about what went wrong. It's about how those mistakes actually led me to build something that's more in alignment with my passion and purpose. It fit me lifestyle. Let me give you a little backstory. In 2022, I was going through a rough patch in my life. Like, my confidence was shattered. I felt like I was stuck. And, honestly, I didn't know what direction my life was about to take. Thankfully, at that time, I had a close friend who reminded me that I needed to focus on number one, me. I started to focus on myself again, getting my mind right, and also one of the main things that I focused on was getting my appearances up. Whenever something is going bad in our lives, we tend to start focus on how we look. Well, for me, so at that time, my daughter was just about to turn 2, and I still had the baby fat around my waist, and I was like, okay, I think it's time for me to really stop and start taking care of myself again. I can't say, oh, I just had a baby. I can't use that excuse anymore because she's gonna be almost 2 now. I decided that the first thing that I wanted to do was waist training, and then I wanted to start working out. So when I decided to start doing waist training, I started to have difficulties finding waist trainers around my area, and it's such a funny story because when I was looking originally, I wasn't finding any. That led me to saying, all right, let me start a waist training business. I felt, if I can't find, there may be a lot of women out there who can't find waist trainers. So I decided to start a waist training business. And the irony of that is, after I started my business, I'm jumping ahead a bit, I saw so many waist training businesses. I decided to start a waist training business, and I went all in. I sourced waist trainers from China. I brought them in. I registered my business. I created my website. I started doing promotion. I had a full-fledged business. I did photo shoots and stuff like that. I didn't only do waist trainers. I decided to do like fitness clothing as well, and I branded them. The name It Fit Me came up because of those waist trainers. The same friend that I was mentioning earlier, I was having that conversation with her, and I was sharing with her that I'm thinking about going in the business and I want a name, and we were brainstorming names, and then we both came up with It Fit Me, and that name just stuck. I loved it. I think it's very Jamaican because it's like It Fit Me, like they say, you put on something and say, what's your It Fit Me? So I really like that, and so I was excited to be starting something new. I started exercising more. I started feeling way better about myself. My confidence started increasing, and everything was going smoothly for a while. I wasn't making any sales though. Even though I wasn't making any sales, I still didn't feel any way. I was like, it's gonna start slow and it's gonna take time, and that's what I told myself. Then in late 2022, I discovered that I was pregnant with my son. So here are the 4 mistakes that I made when I decided to start my side hustle. The first thing I did was I chose a side hustle that did not align with me. I thought I loved the idea of waist training and working out, and maybe I liked it, but I didn't love it. And there were times when I didn't want to work out, and I didn't bother to force myself to work out. And a part of, I say and a lot, don't mind that, a part of my brand was also showing myself working out. You understand? And I didn't have that much content because I wasn't working out a lot. And at one point I wanted to do a video, and I was doing a video of me working out at home. And you know what I did? I took water and I put it on my face to make it look like I was sweating. And I was like, that's so ingenuine. But I did it anyway because I felt, I needed content. I need to show people that I'm working out in my apparel that I'm trying to sell and the waist trainers I'm trying to sell. I guess it didn't translate because it wasn't something that aligned with my passion or even my purpose. And that's one thing that you have to avoid whenever you're choosing a side hustle. Side hustles are not just about making money, because the truth is most businesses don't start making money at the beginning, and you're going to need that drive to continue doing it when you're not making any money. And the only way you're going to do that is if you truly like or love, if you truly are passionate about what it is that you're doing. If you don't love it, you're not going to do it when things are tough or when things get hard. And that's what happened with me in my business. Things got tough, and because of that, it failed. The second mistake is doing everything myself, right? I did have a friend who was helping me out and stuff like that, but I wasn't very good at delegating. And then I felt that a lot of the things that I had to do are things that I knew how to get done. And so I took it upon myself to be doing most of the things for my business. And what that resulted in me just overwhelmed and like, okay, I'm doing all of this and I'm not getting any traction, and it was just annoying at times. And I remember at one point I felt like I had 1,000,001 things to do, and with me, when I feel like I have 1,000,001 things to do, I just don't do anything. That's my go-to. There was a lull in the business because of that. When you're starting a side hustle, you may not be able to make money immediately, so you're thinking, where am I gonna get money to hire somebody or stuff like that. You can do exchange. If you are doing a baking business and you need help with marketing, then you can find a marketer and you can say, in exchange for me baking a cake for your birthday or something like that, they can help you with a marketing effort. That's just an example of a way that you could outsource some aspects of your business, especially the aspects of your business that you know deep down that you're not going to give enough time and energy to. And the third mistake that I made was not shouting it from the rooftop. Like, I was doing a business and I was doing promotion online, but a lot of my close family members and friends didn't know I was doing the business. And I don't know, for whatever reason, I did not shout it from the rooftop that, hey, I am selling waist trainers. And most of the waist trainers that I ended up selling, they were from co-workers or my neighbors. So we have to shout it from the rooftop. It should be plastered everywhere that, listen, this is what I am doing now. So when people see it, they may not immediately action it. They may not immediately say, okay, I'm going to go ahead and support this person. But eventually, when they have a need for what it is that you're offering, they'll remember that you offer it. Mistake number 4 was ignoring my change in reality. So at the end of 2022, like late 2022, like December, I discovered that I was pregnant with my second child. That put me in a rut. Because number one, I didn't think I was ready to have a second child as yet. I mean, we always wanted a second child, but it's not necessarily 2 under 2, but it's very close. And also at that time, another disappointment that happened in the latter part of the year was I was supposed to do an event, and the event was supposed to help promote my fitness business, and the event did not happen. I ended up spending a lot of money. The person that had the venue for the event, they canceled on me the day before the event. That also put a damper into what I was doing. So at the latter part of the year, it was like, oh my God, because I was now pregnant. I didn't want to exercise. I didn't love doing it from the get-go, so bye-bye. I had an excuse now. And waist training was, of course, out the door as well, so that just didn't work. For my second pregnancy, I was on bed rest up to a month before I gave birth. And during that time, I got the chance to really reevaluate myself, what it is that I wanted to do and stuff like that. One of the things that I really started to pay attention to was my living space. We currently live in a small 1-bedroom home. Now, we were the first to live in the home. With our growing family, I knew that I had to come up with some solutions, to get space and to make it feel more homely, because we were about to welcome a newborn. I started watching YouTube. I started watching channels about home decor and organization, especially for small spaces, and I fell in love with home decor again. And so I started to focus on that while on bed rest. I watched a lot of YouTube videos and so forth. Even before I was on bed rest, I started paying attention to those kind of stuff. And I remember I was sharing with my friend that I'm going to start fixing up the place, and she had this idea. She said, you should do is a video and you should show the befores and after. And she was asking me to pretty much video it so that I can see the transformation when I'm done, or that I can show her. And then I decided at that point, you know what, you're right. And so I started videoing, the 1 and 2 things that we would do. I went on Amazon, I bought some stuff off Amazon. I started to put them in the place, and I started to look back at the photos, and my husband and I would just look back and be like, oh, this looks really good. And because we know what it was looking like before. And while watching all those YouTube videos, I decided, if so many people is doing it, why can't I? So I decided that, okay, I'm going to do a YouTube channel to cover me fixing up the place. And that's when It Fit Me Lifestyle was born. So initially it was supposed to be a YouTube channel, but I had a phone. I think I had a A22 that I thought, the camera quality isn't the best, so I'm gonna wait until I get a better phone or a camera to do YouTube. But in the interim, I wanted to start, so I decided to do a blog. And that's where I put a lot of my home decor content at first. So the same website that I created for my fitness business, I totally just transformed it into my home decor blog. Let's fast forward, it's now 2025. Let's fast forward 2 years later, and it has evolved into so much more than just home decor. Now I use it as a community for working moms who are trying to balance everything, working outside the home, taking care of their kids, taking care of their homes, finding a side hustle, finding time for self-care. I face the same challenges, and that's why I wanted to do more than home decor. I wanted to create something bigger, something more purposeful, and that is what It Fit Me Lifestyle is right now. So here's what you can expect from this channel. I am going to be keeping it real. I'll let you guys know the struggles that I genuinely have trying to balance my home, family, work, side hustle, everything. And I'll also tell you the good stuff as well, because there are some good stuff that's really going on that I'd love to share with you guys. That includes home decor and organization, self-care routines, financial planning, side hustles, everything that to me is important as a working mom. So if you're interested in joining this community, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. You can also visit my website, itfitmelifestyle.com, and subscribe to my blog. Thank you for listening, and welcome to It Fit Me Lifestyle.